It is that time for my response to a tweet. And today's tweet says, I thought Trump won the whole thing last night. At his press conference, he looked so presidential. Aren't you glad he's in the family? I thought Trump won last night. And at his press conference, he looked so presidential. Aren't you glad he's in the family? Wow. That's funny. So you thought he won? Oh, you thought that everything was over and you was looking at President Trump up there. I got you. I see what you're saying. Well, here is my response to your tweet. I would only be glad if Donald Trump was in the family if I had an insurance policy on everything that I thought we stood for on the right. If I had an insurance policy on everything that we stood for, oh, I would be excited about Donald Trump being in the family. let me show you where I'm going. Imagine you have a person that marries into your family. And then they come to the family reunion and they start massacring the family. They start cutting their heads off. They start killing them, shooting them, stabbing them, cussing them out. They just start decimating the family. And then they come out and say, hey, I'm going to get us united again. That's how I feel about Donald Trump. He's like my Uncle Charles Manson. He's like Uncle Charlie to me. And that's why we'll call him Uncle Manson. This is Uncle Manson to me. He's coming over here. He's massacring our whole family like it's a good thing. And then he's standing. Did you hear what he said at his press conference? This is the tale right here. I'm telling you, this was amazing to hear him say this. After he admitted he doesn't know what he's doing, and he's a businessman, and he's used to doing that, and he doesn't know what he's doing. I think he knows exactly what he's doing, but after he says he doesn't know what he's doing, and this is just like a fluke or something like that, but he had to do something because America was in shambles and all these kind of things, but that's fine. He says, and I'm paraphrasing now, but I got the clip and we're going to play it later. He says, I'm a uniter. I'm a unifier. I'm a unifier. After we get finished with all of this, I'm going to focus my attention on Hillary Clinton. Now, listen to what he said now. After we get finished with all of this, what does all of this mean? Oh, this conservative thing, oh, that's a part of all of this. Oh, this constitutional thing, all of this. The blacks, the Hispanics, the other Republican people that's running. After I get finished massacring all of our family members, decimating what the Republican Party, or what more so conservatism stands for, after we get finished redefining everything so that I can fit in, after we get finished killing off everything, then I'm going to focus on Hillary Clinton. So the key to the White House for our family member that I'm supposed to be so happy to have is after he gets finished dividing us up in every way possible, after he gets finished Jeffrey Dahmering us, Charles Mansoning us, then he'll go focus on Hillary. What does that leave us? If I had an insurance policy on everything we stood for, oh, I would love to have a person like Donald Trump as my family member, because he's going to make me rich. I have $1 million policy on, oh, let me see, race relations. Yeah, you killed that. If I had $1 million policy on what? How we relate to our minorities and our Muslim communities? Oh yeah, I'll be rich off of that. What if I had $1 million policy on the Constitution? Man, I'll be rich. See, if everything we stood for had an insurance policy on it, Donald Trump was our best family member. He went through and massacred everything that we stood for. We've redefined conservatism. We've watered it down. We did some like affirmative action type thing to conservatism. What are we going to get for it? lose. Hillary Clinton said something so interesting. She said she's not divisive. If you guys be fair, where is Hillary divisive? Yes, she might be slick, she might be shady and all those kind of things, but she's not being divisive. She's not out there massacring race relations between people. We don't like Hillary because she's a crook. But when it's compared to Donald Trump, she isn't divisive. We just don't like her. But there's people that don't like Donald Trump and he's divisive. Uncle Manson is really not the thing that we need. But guess what, people? Here's the silver lining. He didn't do a runaway with the delegates last night. On Super Tuesday, he didn't run away with the delegates. He won his thing, and props to him winning the things there. But we got time to adjust now, people. Do you know the majority of the votes that Donald Trump got last night was because of early voting? Those people didn't get to how crooked he is with the university thing. There's a lot of things that came out over the last few days that the early voters didn't have to consider. And he's going to sit up there and say, I'm a unifier. I know people's not going to believe that. Of course, Donald, why should we believe that? You've massacred our relationship with the handicapped. You've killed it. Our relationship with the minority community. You've killed it. Our relationship with women. You killed it. You've massacred every family member that we've had on stage except for Chris Christie, and that's your boy, and you got him standing back there as Junior Charlie. He massacred everything we stood for when he hugging Obama and all these kind of things. He's already been destroying us. Running around like he's some kind of conservative. So no wonder you got your little junior apprentice up there. He's the only one in the whole thing that didn't get fired. Then you got Mike Huckabee running around. Why? Because he got family members working for you and trying to diminish what you're doing with the KKK thing. Man, we are fundamentally transformed and you're the byproduct. Massacring everything that we stand for. That's the thing that I would like to hear specifics on. At first, I wanted to hear specifics on everything that came out of your mouth. But right now, I would like to hear you be specific on how you think you're going to unify us. After you done ran through here and chopped this up in the middle piece, all we are is all this to you. That's all we are. After I get finished with all of this, what is all of this? Redefining conservatism, redefining the party, redefining the big tent, redefining everything that we stand for. Massacring our humility, massacring our humanity, massacring everything that we stand for. Our Constitution massacred. Our Bill of Rights massacred. You'll take a person's job away from them just because your microphone don't work. You'll do that. You'll do that and talk about you'll create jobs? No. If the microphone is faulty because things are faulty, things just don't work right sometimes, you'll massacre that man's livelihood. You'll shoot somebody in the middle of the street, not lose any support. You've massacred everything that we've stood for, Uncle Charlie. You're Uncle Manson to me. But we have time to adjust, people. We do not have to accept this as the standard bearer of what we stand for. We're better than this. We're massively greater than this. And yes, we are frustrated. But how is the massacre in chief going to be the next thing, the mender in chief? You can't go from massacre to mender. You can't do it, people. It doesn't work that way. Once you chop off a head, you can't sew it back on. And the only one that's qualified to do that is Ben Carson, and he was one of the first casualties of our so-called family member. Hey, that's my response to a tweet on the Phil Williams Show.